The average teacher's salary ranges from $46,500 to $72,000 a year. However, coming from a family where both parents are teachers, I have witnessed firsthand how severely underpaid my parents are. Many people see teachers as people who work from 7:30 in the morning to 3:30 in the afternoon. They work Monday through Fridays, they have their weekends off, and they have 2 months of summer break. What most people don't see, though, is the amount of unpaid hours that go into grading, lesson planning, and supporting their students outside of class. Despite having the same level of education as many other professional jobs, teachers are paid 20 to 26% less on average, creating a major pay gap. This has been preventing people from wanting to enter or stay in the educational field. And this lack of teachers has been leading to teacher shortages throughout an entire nation, which is affecting the quality of education and the quality of our teachers. Teachers play such a big role in the development of our students, and yet their pay fails to reflect the value and the impact that they bring to our society and the future generations. If you are somebody who believes that teachers only work from 7:30 to 3:30, then I encourage you to think again. Teachers put in countless of hours outside of school, whether it be grading, lesson planning, or supporting their students through extracurricular activities or tutoring. According to the Rand Corporation, teachers work an average of 53 hours a week. That is 7 hours more than the average working adult. Many teachers feel that there isn't enough time in the workday to complete the tasks that are expected of them. Strict deadlines for grading and curriculum play a large role in the extra hours that they put into their job. For example, every day my mom sits at her desk when she gets home and is working on curriculum or grading papers until 11 o'clock at night with very few breaks. Another example is my dad, a professor who has to prepare labs. Preparing labs can take up to 3 to 4 hours from setting up the equipment to making parts of the actual experiment. This process goes unpaid. To further understand how unjust the situation is, we have to look at how teachers' salaries compare to others who have completed another kind of education as well. As stated before, teachers have a pay gap of around 20 to 26% compared to other professions. Let's take a look at how big that gap truly is. The first example being a computer scientist makes $110,000, $300 a year, according to ZipRecruiter. This can be with or without a master's degree. Teachers, even though they technically don't need a master's degree, if they do not obtain one, then they will be making starting teacher salaries of $46,000 a year. Something different with computer scientists and teachers isn't just that it's on the completely opposite side of the job world. Computer scientists can find jobs where they don't have to leave their homes. If teachers have to work with students while leaving their homes, constantly on their feet, and are only making $46,000 a year, while someone is probably sitting on their couch while making over $100,000 a year, something needs to be changed. And that something should be a teacher salary increase. Another example is that on average, a police officer makes $62,000 a year, according to ZipRecruiter. You may be thinking, well, a police officer has to train and handle more dangerous situations. Though that is true on many cases, unfortunately, in recent years, teachers have also had to go through some of the same training that police officers must go through. They have to train for lockdowns, intruders, active shootings, and threats. A teacher's job isn't just to educate, their job is to protect their students with their own lives. And the last example is that in the United States, babysitters can make an average of $53,000 a year, according to Indeed.com. Legally, babysitters do not need a college education, which is why it becomes unfair that they can make this much money. Teachers feel that they are being treated like babysitters. And so when school is treated like a child care center and teachers as babysitters, it devalues education. A teacher from the website boardteachers.com, a website that allows teachers to voice their opinions, wrote, "Often parents complain when school is closed for professional training or professional development, but no one complains when their pediatrician or accountant is out of office for continuing their education. A teacher goes on to say that the teachers need to take professional time off from school to improve their own education as teachers, just as a doctor would go back to school to become a better doctor. If a teacher feels like education is being devalued and they don't feel important, then they will choose to leave public schools, and we are beginning to see a shortage in teachers. Over the course of 2 decades, there has been a drop of education majors and a shortage of teachers. In the 2003-2004 school year, there were 109,622 students enrolled to earn their bachelor's degree in education. That number has dropped since the most recently recorded school year, 2022 to 2023. That number recorded was 90,710 students enrolled to earn a bachelor's degree in education, according to the American Association of Colleges for Teacher Education. That is almost 20,000 students that we have lost that could have become educators. That number has seemingly dropped because a teacher's salary is insufficient, the cost of college has risen significantly, and teachers are not being respected. If a teacher feels disrespected and they're not getting paid well, then that causes teachers to want to leave the education field. As a whole, teacher shortages are being felt throughout 41 of the 50 states. The U.S. Department of Education defines a teacher as an unfulfilled position, positions filled by underqualified teachers, and positions filled by teachers in a different subject other than their certification. With schools hiring underqualified teachers, the trend is that educational quality begins to dwindle. The main factor that plays into the teacher shortages is the stagnant salaries and how large that pay gap is between the other professions. Teachers are earning roughly 73 cents for every dollar earned by comparable college graduates, according to the Think Academy. This imbalance not only causes teachers to leave the educational field, but, as stated before, it devalues education. With the devaluation of education and schools, teachers don't have the motivation to continue working in their field because they are not given sufficient awards and they don't feel importance in their work. Because of the teacher shortages and the devaluation of schools, this has led to issues in our United States education system. Teachers deserve a higher salary because they are consistently undervalued, and the pay gap between them and other professions is simply unjust. Beyond the scheduled hours, teachers dedicate countless of unpaid hours to support their students. They grade late into the night, develop lesson plans, and even attend meetings. These extra efforts allow students to learn, grow, and succeed. Yet, despite these dedications, teachers continue to receive salaries that simply do not reflect the importance of their role in shaping our next generation. When we fail to compensate teachers fairly, we send a message that education is not worth investing in. Teachers pour their hearts into their classrooms, and many times they sacrifice their own well-being for their students' well-beings. It's time that society recognizes the hard work and commitment, not with small raises of a few $100s, but significant increases with thousands, acknowledging the true value they bring to our communities every single day. Thank you.